So I have talked a lot about layoffs this week. And I had many consultations actually about layoffs, and it's pretty settled right now. We have a pretty settled process. I normally recommend that people engage in the job search and hopefully secure a full-time job offer within the first 45 days of their grace period. Then, if they don't have an offer, at that point, start preparing the change of status to B2 and file it. I do kind of want to talk about how it's going to change though throughout the summer, especially for people who've just won the lottery. I think people who just won the lottery are at a heightened risk of being part of layoffs because they tend to be the newer employees. And it can be a little bit frustrating to not have clarification or visibility into that. But if you think your company is going to have layoffs and you won the lottery and you want to proceed with the H-1B, make sure that the company files that H-1B petition right away, like as soon as possible. If your petition is still in the process of preparation and then the company lays you off, they're not going to file that H-1B for you. So in that case, the lottery slot is lost forever. You would need to find a new sponsor and go through the whole lottery next year. If the company files the H-1B for you and then you're laid off before it's approved, hopefully the company will not withdraw it and hopefully they'll just allow it to be approved. You should talk about that and negotiate that in your severance. The company isn't necessarily obligated to withdraw the petition at that point. The company will want to withdraw the petition before October 1st, because on October 1st, that's when the company's obligations actually kick in. But they shouldn't have a need to withdraw it before then. So if you can get an approval, you might be able to take that approval and transfer it to a new company. It's not guaranteed because USCIS treats those a little bit differently depending on what officer it is and what part of the law they're applying, but it's worth a shot. If your company gets an RFE in the middle of the adjudication and you're already laid off, they're probably not going to be willing to respond to it, and so you may lose your lottery slot that way. And then if you get laid off after your H-1B is approved, you really should try to transfer that to a new employer before October 1st. The timing of everything right around October gets very, very tricky because come October 1st, the government is going to expect you to submit pay stubs to prove your H-1B employment. And there's all kinds of various different implications that can happen on October 1st. So if you won the H-1B lottery and then got laid off and you think you have a valid H-1B approval, but October is approaching, talk to an attorney before October 1st. You really, really, really need to do that. Just to determine what your options are and the timing for your case. Layoffs are extra stressful for people in the H-1B lottery process. USCIS and the entire H-1B program is not built for layoffs. The whole system is built so that everything happens 6 months in advance, and the government expects everything to remain exactly the same during those 6 months. They haven't really accounted for or factored into the various different things that can happen in the job market. And the system is not built for individuals. It's not built to consider the needs of individual beneficiaries. It is very employer compliance driven. And so to the government, the employer is the only one that matters, unfortunately. So just know your options. Don't panic. Keep going with the process. Talk to your own attorney and see what you can do to preserve that H-1B, even if you are laid off.